Sophie and welcome back to the Be Nerdy BookTube channel, and today I'm gonna talk about something I've never done before, and excuse the lighting because it's getting darker and darker just because the weather is kind of freaky and it's really cloudy and raining, so yeah, but I really wanted to film this today. And well, I'm participating in my first ever readathon. And it is the O.W.L.S Magical Readathon hosted by O.W.L.S. I will link her video down below. She explains it so much better than me. But basically, this is a readathon inspired by the exams taken in Harry Potter. You have exams in the 5th year and the 7th year. So in the 5th year, you take the O.W.L.S, which is this readathon. And they are the ordinary wizardry levels, and they are basically summarizing all of the stuff given in the subjects over the course of the 5 years. Yeah, and that's the readathon happening this month in April. You also have the newts that you take in the 7th year, and they are the nearly exhausting wizardry levels or tests, something like that. And those are said to be like crazy bonkers, and yeah, so that readathon is happening in August, so you can actually join in then. But basically you have an extra step this year from what I've seen, which is the career leaflet. Basically, G, the owner of O.W.L.S, she created a leaflet with careers, and each career has a certain amount of owls you need to go through that career. And basically, you can only do the newts if you have the owls for those kinds of subjects, which, I mean, you don't have to, but it's sort of fun, and I really want to do it like that. So I chose a career of horror, which is, I believe, one of the easiest. You need to have 5 prompts, well, 5 subjects or L's. I will read you the prompts needed for the careers. I will also read you all of the prompts and what is needed, and then I'm going to introduce my TBR. So, well, for horror, you need charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, potions, and transfiguration. And those are like my top priority prompts that I'm gonna fill. Actually, one of them I should be finishing Monday or Tuesday. It depends on how my weekend goes with reading. But I should be finishing it very, very soon. But I'm also going to try to do as many as I can just for fun. I'm really doing it just for fun. And so the prompts are: for ancient runes, you have a retelling. For arithmancy, you have books written by more than one author. For astronomy, you have a book with star on the title. For care of magical creatures, you have land animal on the cover. For charms, you have age line, adult book. For defense against dark arts, you have Reducto, a title that starts with an R. For divination, you have a book set in the future. For herbology, you have plants on the cover. For history of magic, you have published at least 10 years ago. For muggle studies, you have contemporary. For potions, you have next ingredient sequels. And for transfiguration, you have books with sprayed edges or a red cover. So, like I said like 2 minutes ago, my main prompts are charms, DA, herbology, potions, and transfigurations. And for charms, I am going with I Want You Gone by Miranda, I'm gonna butcher this, Risks. This is an arc I got from NetGalley, and it is an adult book, it is an adult mystery, and we're following this woman. She is a retail, she's like a house selling kind of person, and one day she wakes up to find obituaries of her death. The thing is, she's very much alive, and now she kind of has to navigate slowly throughout her circle to find out who wants her gone. And that's the book I'm choosing for charms. For DADA, you have Readathon, title that starts with an R, and I am choosing Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I am 362 pages in this book, which means I'm left with 220, more or less. And we're following this boy named Wade Watts, and he lives in this futuristic Earth where there is an energy crisis and everyone basically lives in this virtual world called Oasis. But the owner and creator of Oasis, James Halliday, has died, and he has no heirs. So he basically puts the ownership of Oasis up for gamble. You have to find his egg, and for that you need to have 3 keys and complete the 3 gates, and only then will you be able to claim Oasis for yourself. This book, I actually got it because I really like the movie, and I'm happy and I'm sort of scared because this is nothing like the movie. I'm telling you. You have you have way more character building than in the movie, and the evolution of Wade, or Parzival, as his avatar is called, is way more realistic than in the movie. I get it, you only have like 2 to 3 hours to tell a story, but I really like the way they did it here, where you can see Wade's work throughout the story and throughout the years. He's not just simply gifted like that at old arcade games and at 80s knowledge. He's actually really studying and learning and practicing, and it makes everything seem really realistic, and that's what I like. The thing is, I'm actually at the part where he has the Jade Key. He's going to the Jade Gate, and well, in the movie you have this scene where he gets the key that is set in Steven Spielberg's The Shining, written by Stephen King, and I really like that scene, and I was hoping it would appear here, but I'm afraid not. Or it may be, because there's the challenge to get the key is related to a game, but the challenge of the gate is related to a movie, or at least the first one was. So I'm really excited to see what the hell am I gonna find here. And this one is a masterpiece, I'm telling you. I'm not even finished, and I have a huge good feeling about this one. Anyway, for Herbology, I have Deceptively Beautiful by M.J. Paget. This is book 3 in the Brothers Grimm Guide to Psychopathic... Brothers Grimm Guide for Psychopathic Princesses. It's a mouthful. You've heard me talk about Snow-Kissed and Ashes to Ashes, which are the number 1 and number 2 books in the series. And this cover has little pine trees in it. Given they are white, as is the rest of the landscape, but they are trees, and trees are plants, and so I'm considering it a book with plants on the cover, and that's what I'm gonna do for Herbology. I know really next to nothing about this book. I know it is centered around the same universe with the psychopathic princesses, where the princesses are just going nuts, but I don't know which princess it is, where it is, who we're following. I don't know anything about that, honestly. For potions, the prompt was a sequel, Next Ingredient, and I am choosing Hair of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 3 in the Throne of Glass series. I've talked about the series in almost every single video of my channel, and my channel has been up since late January. It has about 6 videos or 7 or something. So yeah, we're following Selena Sardothian. She is the assassin of Adralan, which is the kingdom where she lives. She gets caught one day. She goes to a salt mine camp, which is freaking brutal. She survives there for a year. She makes a deal with the prince and becomes his champion, well, in a tournament to be the king's assassin. So that's the story. That's basically it. If you want to know more about these, just check my previous videos, because I have 2 of them talking about Throne of Glass and 2 of them talking about Crown of Midnight, which makes 4 of them. And I have this one and explaining the story as well in my April TBR video, which went up yesterday. So yeah, you have a lot of Selena Sardothian if you want to know a little bit more in detail the story, so check those out. And yeah, since I am reading this series, and this one was a fairly easy prompt, my biggest difficulty was which of the books am I gonna choose to fit in here, because I have like 3 or 4 of them this month. And yeah, this is the one I chose. Last of my 5 mandatory or priority prompts is Transfiguration, which is a book with sprayed edges or a red cover. And honestly, if this was last month, it would have been great, because I would have been able to go with this one, which has red all over. But I am going with As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. This is book 3 in the Twisted Tales series. We're following Belle and the Beast. And yeah, I'm halfway through the book right now, but I am not so sure of where the hell she's going with this book. The first book in the series I loved, wait, that's mistaken. The first I hated, the second I loved. This one has been feeling kind of mad to me. That's that. It is a retelling of the original Beauty and the Beast story, so there's really not much of a plot. There are some things added to the story, but I'm not so sure where they're taking it, and that makes me nervous, because it can go really well or really, really bad, and I've seen both cases in this series, so yeah. And these are my 5 priority reads. I need to read them all this month, along with the rest of my TBR, but I also had some other books that fit some other prompts. So I decided to go ahead and try to get as many owls as I could. So for Muggle Studies, the prompt is contemporary, and I'm going with Can't Beat the Chemistry by Kat Colmer. This is also an arc I got. It is about 2 lab partners, and the guy is really, really bad with human interaction. So he's trying to prove to her that they are more than just great lab partners, that they can actually be great life partners. That's basically it. And it sounds like a really cute YA contemporary story. It sounds like filled with romance and hilariousness. Blah, 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 blah. It sounds like it's filled with comedy, because the guy is just a complete outsider, okay? So I'm really, really excited to get to that one. For History of Magic, I actually have 1 book, and the prompt is a book that was published 10 years or more. And I chose this book mainly because it's small, okay? I have more books that were published more than 10 years ago, and I could have easily gone with, where the hell is it? Oh, it's here. I could have easily gone with Harry Potter, because it's an easy choice. The stories are 21 years old, so it would have been fairly easy for me to go with this. But I decided to go with A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I know this is like one of the sci-fi's pillars, It is really, really highly recommended by anyone who likes sci-fi, and I've been getting into it a lot more recently. So the book is 210 pages, so it is fairly slim, but I'm honestly not so sure if I'm going with this or Harry Potter. It will depend on my mood, but I'm keeping those two for History of Magic. And this one is about a guy named Arthur, and basically he gets up one morning and has a normal day, and then his house is destroyed, and then his planet is destroyed. And I know it goes a bit like comedy and stuff. I don't know. Reagan from Peru's project is gonna read it, and I'm gonna read it as well, and she described it as being hilarious. So I'm down with that. I really like comedy books. So yeah. For divination, it is a book set in the future. Again, I have several books with this prompt, but I decided to go with Gemina, which is book 2 in the Illuminate files. And I've been actually reading it while in the shower or in the bathroom as an audiobook, because I got this really cool waterproof speaker, and you can actually like tug it in the wall and everything, and it is really cool. So yeah, I know this will take a bit longer, but I'm hoping to finish it before the end of the month, so we'll see. That's the one I'm going with. For Gemina, we're following a new set of characters. It's not Katie and Ezra as I was expecting, but we're following Hannah Donnelly and Nicholas Markov, something like that. I know it ends with "ov." And Hannah is the daughter of the captain for the Heimdall station, and Nicholas is said to be their hero, but we know he's like a bad guy. He's been to juvie, and he has tattoos, and he's part of the mafia, and he's a drug dealer. So I'm not so sure how this is turning out. The audiobook is great. I think the visual aspect and the feel of the book, it is highly recommended, but I've been really enjoying it. And last, well, not last, but almost last but not least, I have For Care of Magical Creatures, which is a book with land creatures on cover, Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I think this is a snake, and I'm considering it a snake, and snakes are land animals. This is why. Also because it is in my TBR, and I want it to be a snake. So if you think it's not a snake, or if it is another creature, let's just consider I'm really, really dumb, and this is a snake to me. Okay? And this is book 2 in the Grishaverse trilogy. I have the other 2 right here. And we're following a map maker called Alina Starkov. She is going through the Shadowfold, which is like this dark place with magical creatures who eat you. But she, in the attack, while in the Shadowfold, she discovers she has powers, and she has powers that can destroy the fold. So we're following her and her integration in the Grisha community, and yeah, I'm really excited to get back in this world because I really want explanations. Book 1 left a lot of things like drifting, and I didn't hold it against it because it is a series, so it is normal that some details are left for the next books. That's why I'm not holding it against the first book. But these are actually the books I am sure to be reading for this particular readathon. I am missing... What am I missing? I have them here. I have them like laid out. I'm missing Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, and Astronomy. And I asked on my Instagram for you to recommend me books that are small, like 200, 250 or less, with those prompts, which are retellings for Ancient Runes, more than one author for Arithmancy, and Astronomy is something with star on the title. So if I have those books by the time I'm doing the challenge, I will let you know. But I also decided to take you guys with me in this adventure because it is my very first readathon, and I really want to take you with me and for you to see my reactions and maybe to see a little bit about my life. So I'm actually doing a vlog, as in throughout the month of April I will film certain bits, like when I'm finishing a book or when I'm starting a book, and that's gonna be about it. So at the end of the month we'll have a pretty vlog, hopefully up, or in the next like in the beginning of May we'll have a pretty vlog showing you my reactions to the books and my loves and my hates, or maybe all my loves or all my mess. We'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and leave your recommendations for those 3 prompts down below. I am really in need, so if you think of any 250 or less books, mangas, light novels, something like that, I would really appreciate it. Leave them down below. Click the subscribe button and the bell to be warned of when I post videos. Usually is once a week, but this week I'm feeling generous, so we're on our 3rd video. And next week we're going to have 2. And then I don't know, because I have the European Championship and I'm not so sure how the hell I'm gonna record. So there's always that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!